Welcome in Taj Mahal News. I am Ganga to present the single version of Truth News. This news about most divine, powerful and mysterious man, His Holiness Sati Guru. Many claims the god Kalki entered in his body and made him Kalki avatar. Many mystical traditions suggest that divine energy operates on a high frequency or a state of purity. According to this view, constant interaction with the collective, static, of humanity, our conflicts, dense emotions, and material distractions, acts like a grounding wire. The battery analogy: just as a battery drains faster when connected to too many devices, some believe that avatars, or divine people, would see their spiritual potency diminished if they were constantly plugged in to the public consciousness. Sati Guru, one of the catalysts of peace, health and joyful life, are not seen since last 7 months in any live video. The posted videos are by his followers in different formats to spread his divine wisdom and teachings. This is going to be a great mystery whether His Holiness Sati Guru is alive or not, but his ghost or divine powers are having great presence all over world. Last information was he went in penance. Let's wait for ascertained information, as it may be His Holiness Sati Guru's divine strategy to be invisible as per the story. Kalin. The silence of Master Kalin. Master Kalin was not a politician, a general, or a CEO. He was a man who lived on a jagged peak, ate boiled cabbage, and possessed the uncanny ability to look at a person until they felt the sudden, urgent need to apologize for every lie they told since the 3rd grade. He was the moral anchor of the Republic of Oakhaven. For decades, the entire systemic infrastructure, from the High Court to the local sanitation guilds, functioned on a single, unspoken premise: what if Kalin finds out? Then, on a Tuesday, a goat herder named Pippin saw a plume of black smoke rising from the peak and found the sage's hut empty, save for a single, charred sandal. Phase 1. The Great Moral Decompression. The rumor hit the capital like a physical blow. Within 4 hours, the headline "The Candle Has Gone Out" was plastered across every digital feed. The initial reaction was not grief, it was a systemic nervous breakdown. The judiciary, judges who had spent years taking consultation fees, bribes, suddenly realized the man who could see through souls was supposedly gone. They didn't celebrate, they panicked. They assumed the divine protection Kalin provided was lifted and that the universe was about to balance the books. The markets, the Oakhaven Stock Exchange, plummeted. Not because Kalin traded stocks, but because the stability index was tied to the public's belief that a wise man was keeping the leaders from doing something catastrophically stupid. Phase 2. The post-Kalin reform. By Thursday, the panic turned into a strange, frantic honesty. Without the sage to act as the ultimate arbiter, the system realized it was horribly brittle. The Council of Elders met in an emergency session. If Kalin is dead, the Arch-Chancellor whispered, there is no one left to tell us we are doing a good job. We might actually have to do a good job. Driven by the terrifying realization that they were now unsupervised adults, the government passed the Kalin Legacy Acts in a record-breaking 48 hours. Transparency protocols. Since Kalin wasn't there to know things intuitively, they had to make everything public so the people could see it instead. The empathy mandate. Lawmakers were forced to spend 1 week a month living in the districts they represented, mostly because they were scared that Kalin's ghost would haunt them if they stayed in their ivory towers. The debt jubilee. In a fit of spiritual terror, the banks cleared the predatory interest rates of the poor, hoping to balance their karma before the sage met them in the afterlife. Phase 3. The resurrection. 3 weeks later, the system had completely restructured. Oakhaven was more efficient, more equitable, and significantly more terrified of metaphysical consequences than it had ever been. That's when Master Kalin walked down the mountain. He wasn't dead. He had simply accidentally set his cabbage pot on fire, burnt his favorite sandal, and decided to take a 3-week vow of silence in a nearby cave to contemplate his own clumsiness. The city looks different, Kalin remarked, standing in the town square and looking at the new, transparent government buildings and the smiling citizens. The Arch-Chancellor, pale and trembling, approached him. Master, you are alive. We changed everything. We thought the world would end without your guidance, so we tried to build a world that didn't need it. Kalin looked at the reformed laws, the balanced books, and the lack of corruption. He then looked at his remaining sandal. Good, the sage said with a slight, witty grin. I was getting tired of being everyone's conscience. It's an exhausting job, and the pay is terrible. The aftermath. The system didn't revert. Once the gears of a fair society began to turn, people realized they liked the taste of justice more than the comfort of a shadow ruler. The rumor of death had done what 40 years of preaching couldn't. It forced the system to grow up. Kalen went back to his mountain, bought a better stove, and Oakhaven remained the